This may seem like semantic quibbling, but the way that you talk about something not only reflects the way that you think about it, but it also shapes the way that you think about it. And the phrase build software has stuck with me as being just kind of inaccurate. Now, it's not a new concept, it's not a new idea. Like the phrase, people have been saying build software, they build software for, probably since the 70s. Before that, they used to say they wrote it. The reason why I don't like using the phrase build software is because it's not really like building at all. When you think about how you build, a sun deck, and you spend a couple hours, maybe walking around where you're going to build it, you take measurements, you might research a little bit what sort of the styles of sun decks you might want to build. The square footage is a very important number there. Then you go and you write up a bill of materials. You order all of the bits and pieces, all the lumber and the concrete bits that go underground, etc. And then you spend the next several days building it. And so the cost, the dollars, the bulk of the dollars, of course, if you're just counting your own labor, it goes into the materials, and the bulk of the time goes into the actual building and the figuring out what to build and how to build it. That part is actually very small in comparison to the rest of it. Now, in my experience, and I'd say, I've only been doing this 25 years, so, I don't know if that's enough, but the way that you build, or, the way that you write or the way that you create software is very much not like that at all. I mean, to the extent that it's building anything, it's like how Simon Rhodia built the Watts Towers, over the big part of his adult life until he was too old to keep on building. So, it was sort of like a bricolage of putting parts together and, seeing if they fit and then trying stuff and so on. And so it's sort of almost a cybernetic feedback loop. And so the sort of the building metaphor very quickly falls apart. And, I'm comfortable, again, like I've used the phrase write software, but the point is sort of bigger than that. And that is like a rhetorical thing about what building means in our civilization. There's a sort of a heroism to it. And, when you see rhetoric like, oh, it's time to build, and, who are the builders, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm going to steal Pavel Samsonov's aphorism about how the people who make the most noise about being builders are really the status checkers, they're the managers. And there's this rhetorical line to the sort of heroism of building where everything old is bad and therefore it must be demolished and then replaced with new construction. And it's not clear to me that this is a self-evident proposition. And the alternative modality to building is repair. Like when I'm creating Intertwingler, I view it as I am sort of patching a hole in the internet. I am fixing a defect. And that is a different paradigm than building. It's just a completely different attitude toward what our role is. And if you take the attitude that you are healing and repairing the sort of fabric of reality rather than demolishing something and putting something new on top, I think it sort of changes your attitude toward how just what your values are. And I think that is the benefit of changing the way that you talk about it. And I know that there are people out there that I'm probably going to be pissing off who identify very much with, building, and were, again, it's this a sort of a heroism to it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it's inaccurate for you. I'm saying that it is an idea that has been embedded or couched in a particular paradigm or particular attitude, particular set of values. And I think that the people who are very loud about building, the very prominent people who are writing manifestos about it and whatnot, I think that what they say, when you think about it in the context of repair, what they say, the valence of it changes. The sort of value of it changes when you look at it through that lens. Anyway, gonna finish my coffee.